Epic Games just held their State of Unreal event for 2024, showing off some unbelievable tech demos for the Unreal Engine, Fortnite updates, and a whole lot more.
And we've got an update regarding Baldur's Gate 3 and any future DLC or even a sequel. We're going to talk about all this stuff and so much more right now on Gaming News Weekly. What's up, everybody? It's time for another episode of Gaming News Weekly, the best weekly video game news show out there. Every single Monday, we're bringing you all the biggest things happening in the video game industry. Check us out on YouTube, Fruit Lab, podcast services everywhere. My name is E-Rock the Red, as always, joined by this guy right here, Full Clip. How are you today, buddy?
What's up? Doing pretty good. You know, I talked a lot of big talk last time about re-upping my Game Pass subscription, getting into, Light Yearfront tier?
Oh, yeah, I'm so excited
Something
to hear.
like that.
I'm so excited to hear how that went.
Well, the bad news is I didn't get into that. But instead, I got to try out something new at least. Sandland, the possibly final video game of, I'm going to botch it, but Akira Toriyama.
Yes. Nailed it, dude. Nailed it. Yeah, you tried the demo. I also tried the demo. What'd you think?
You know, it's a strange demo. It's not like, Beer Simulator we tried before where it sort of starts you at the beginning of the game. More like a prologue over there. This was, they kind of plop you into the world, skip all the dialogue, the intro cutscenes and stuff like that, which you can go get that from the trailer, I think.
Sure.
They start you at like level 15. All your enemies are level 15. And you're going out through the desert, shooting them, trying to find points of interest. A little bit of dungeon delving or something. I mean, it's more like empty tombs for the most part, but I don't know. It's strange because it lacks any real progression. You don't feel like you did an hour's worth of work toward anything, and then I don't know if there's an actual ending to this or if it's just a sandbox.
It definitely felt more like a sandbox, kind of like a tech demo. Like, here, this is what you can do in this game, but like the bones are there. It definitely feels like the shape of a decent game is there, but yeah, it doesn't. There's no idea of any story or progression or anything to kind of make you invested. I just drove around, which is cool. Like the driving is cool. You get like a tank. Was it like like a motorcycle or something? Yeah. And something else. I don't know.
Then like a walking mech style.
Yes, that's right. And then I just went around for about, I don't know, I think I played a half hour, 45 minutes and just shot a bunch of stuff and kind of explored. And I was like, okay, I think I did things. I don't know if there was more or if I missed anything, but I like the style of it. It looks good. I think it's cool, like that kind of cell shaded look to it. But yeah, I'm intrigued. But yeah, it was. I expected a lot more from the demo.
Yeah,
and I was
so you
played on let down.
You played on PS5. How did it perform for you?
It was great. Yeah, no issues. I mean, but again, it was very sparse. I don't know if that's just what this demo is like, if that's going to be what, it was like you drive around for a little bit until you find a small pack of enemies and you fight them and then you drive around. And so it wasn't really pushing the boundaries of the PlayStation in any shape, but I thought it was fine. So. Yeah,
for the vast majority of the playthrough, it was fine for me on PC, but a lot of people in the Steam community, forums, whatever it is, like on a per game basis that we're talking about this demo, we're calling it Stutterland because you're seeing some issues of stuttering when some action happens, which I guess has something to do with the Unreal Engine that this is based on. Gotcha. They say that the solution is like go into your settings, change it to DirectX only mode, and then your stuttering is mostly cleared up. But I didn't get a chance to go in there and do that fix.
Yeah. Interesting. Yeah, no issues for me. Hopefully, they'll get that. I don't even know when this game is. When's the game even supposed to come out?
I'm not sure if it's been announced.
Okay. But yeah, there's definitely, again, the bones of a game there. We'll see what they end up coming out with.
Yeah.
You get into anything else? That was pretty much it.
Yeah, that was it.
I did play a little Lightyear Frontier. I played with my son for a little bit. Maybe again, not very long, 45 minutes. But he's not great at these these games where you have objectives, because he just wants to explore. And you know, it really does, it kind of holds you back until you complete a lot of those initial objectives, getting like upgrading your stuff and everything like that. But yeah, I want to get back in there and check it out. I didn't really even get a chance to do any of the farming or anything like that. We cleaned up some areas, got some stuff, but yeah, I'm interested in more to hear what you think about it. So get in there next time. This is your homework for next week. Check it out. I want to see. I did play. I spent a lot of time playing a game. It's one of our new releases though, so I'll hold off talking about it until then, which I guess could be now. Should we move things into there?
Yeah, let's jump into it.
Let's do it. Let's talk about our new releases from last week. All right, first up, Alone in the Dark came out March 20th on PC, PS5, and Xbox S and X. This is a reimagining of the 1992 classic, set in the 20s, and you know, it's what you'd expect from it. This was out initially right around like Resident Evil and Silent Hill, and then Alone in the Dark was always the third one in this thing. This one, what I like about this, there's two main characters in it, and they're both played by, you know, big name actors. You got David Harbour and Jodie Comer playing the two main characters, and it's like a Lovecraftian story with those kind of monsters and stuff, and set in an asylum. I don't know. It looks scary. It looks interesting. The reviews aren't amazing. It's at a 64 on Metacritic right now, so you know, not what everybody hoped it would be, but it still looks like a solid entry into the horror world. But,
yeah,
you know,
it's always interesting when they pull this move. I mean, they've been doing it for probably like 10 years now, but finding the actor, making the model look just like them, because video games are starting to become a lot more like movies than they used to be.
Yeah, and they're able to pull it off, like to make the people look so good, the motion capturing and stuff like that. It's crazy.
I mean, it's straight up David Harbour. I don't know the other actor that you mentioned there, but
yeah, it looks just like him for sure. Next up, Rise of the Ronin came out March 22nd on PS5. This is from Team Ninja. The guys did Neo and Dead or Alive and Ninja Gaiden. This one's an open world action RPG set in 19th century Japan. You play as a Ronin, you know, like a disgraced samurai or whatever, and you just go around fighting things. It looks very interesting. For this one, your choices kind of shape that the way that the game plays out, as far as like what you do for your allies. It changes your party maybe or something like that. I was reading, I don't know, I haven't played it yet. It looks very interesting. I like that all the different weapons. There's different like katanas, and there's guns in it because it's like right at that time period, you know. So, and then on top of that, there's really cool traversal. There's like a grappling hook and like a glider, and you ride a horse. So it looks like it's got like all those things that make like a good game, good weapons, good movement. So yeah, I'm excited to try this one at some point. It's at a 76 on Metacritic, but yeah, we'll see. There's a lot of games. Yeah, I don't know where this one fits in.
Excellent timing on the part. I mean, maybe it was a complete accident on the release of this, but coming out right in the middle of the new Shogun series on FX and Hulu. In fact, I was watching it, the newest episode last night, catching up, and every commercial break was Rise of the Ronin.
Really? That's smart, because that's exactly what I thought. As I was watching, I was like, yeah, I could play, you know, be that in that world, live in that world. So yeah, very cool. Next up, Princess Peach Showtime came out on March 22nd on the Nintendo Switch. This is like a Mario-like platformer, except you're playing as Princess Peach. And I'm hearing it's more like Kirby or one of the Yoshi games, in that like it's real simple, very, you know, it's a very easy game. I guess it takes like, you know, 8 hits for Princess Peach to get killed or what. I don't know. I mean, I guess she's not getting killed. You know what I mean? But there are different. The hook of this one is there's all these different levels, and each level is based on a transformation of Princess Peach. Like you could be like a figure skater or a detective, and each level is different depending on which Princess Peach you're playing at the time. It's a good hook. It's interesting. I think it's something that my son will be into, and it's just about an 8-hour gameplay. So
Yeah. Yeah, it's cool.
maybe.
So the Showtime name comes in. She's playing a character in all these, and apparently there are a lot of small choices that people say make it really interesting because a movie is being produced as you go through the level, and I think it'd be cool to see what all of that is about.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it'd be cool. Like the only thing that bothers me about this is that when they say it's like start to finish about an 8-hour game, and the price of this is never going to go down. It's
Yeah,
it's a full Nintendo price point for this, and it's never gonna hit that point that I like. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see how if my son gets really into the idea of it. And then last up, this is the game that I've been playing. Dragons Dogma 2 came out March 22nd on PC, PS5, and Xbox S and X. It's an action role-playing game set in a fantasy world. It's a sequel, and from everything, I haven't played the original one, but everything I've read says this is just that game, just polished and tweaked and stuff like that. It's just really more of the same, right down to like the story and everything. But you play as a character called an Arisen, and he has his ability to control these pawns, and there's these created characters in the game. They make up your party. So you make your character, you make the Arisen, and then you make a pawn. And then what's really cool is there are other pawns throughout the world that are made from other people playing the game. So that's the only multiplayer aspect of it, is that there are other pawns in the world that say you create, and I could hire you to join my party. And then however long, say, you're playing with your pawn and they have traveled through this area, and then I hire them to be in my party. They will tell me about the area because they've already been through it with you. So it's really cool. The knowledge that they gain from your game, they carry with them and can share with other people. So it's a really cool idea for it. As far as those pawns, though, it's one of the downfalls of the game so far is that the AI that controls them, it's a little janky. They make some poor decisions as far as like traversal. So far, like I've read a lot of horror stories. I've only had a couple times where like they will go down this like ravine, and I'm like, no, now they have to go. I'm like, all right, now I got to go try to help them out or whatever. So then we got to go down the ravine and all the way around, and it's like a real big pain. Or they don't kind of come to your help if you need it. So the AI, it's so far it's pretty good, but there are a couple times where I wish it was a little bit better. But yeah, I'm only a couple hours in, maybe almost 3 hours in, and I'm enjoying it. I'm having a blast. I've been reading a lot on social media and stuff about problems with the game. First, with frame rate. I'm playing on console, PlayStation 5. I know, like, they came out prior to the game even coming out saying that this is going to be a 30 frames per second game, which I'm fine with that. Frames don't really affect me as much as they do a lot of other people. So I was totally okay with it, and I feel like it runs just fine. I haven't gotten to some of the more giant populated cities yet where I hear it kind of like really bogs down. But as far as in battle and everything like that, no issues for me. I know on PC it's different. They're having a real hard time depending on it needs a lot of power. Like even like the highest end PCs are struggling.
Yeah, or some optimization there.
Yeah,
I've heard that there's a pretty funny solution that people are coming up with for these frame rate issues. Yeah,
and I don't know if it's been proven yet, but yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. Go into the city. They're going to create this master list of the unessential NPCs that you can go ahead and murder if you want to, that won't detract from your storytelling, because you get rid of some of those NPCs and supposedly your frame rate will get better.
Yes. They said that each NPC takes up a certain amount of like GPU or whatever. So yeah, they're saying like this one is like you'll get 3 frames per second from killing this guy or whatever. So I love the idea. Has not been proven yet, but it did create quite a fun list of memes on the Dragons Dogma 2 subreddit. A lot of like Thanos memes and stuff like that. That was a lot of fun. And then the other big issue that is very hot button right now is microtransactions. So Capcom put this game out for the reviewers. No sign of any microtransactions in the game. After review at release, all of a sudden, these microtransactions pop up. Now, granted, I'm playing the game. If I had not seen this on like TikTok or something, I would still not know that they exist. They're not like in your face, do this, like you got to do this. In fact, they're so stupid. Like it makes no sense. All it's done for Capcom in this instance is give the players a bad taste in their mouth. It doesn't affect any of the gameplay. The stuff that they're selling, it's stuff that's very easily accessible in the game. Now, I'm not saying that, it's okay because of that. I think it's a terrible look for a full, $70 single player story game to sell these things. Now, another thing that everybody says is they do this with everything. They were in Resident Evil, Monster Hunter. There's always these little microtransactions, and it's stupid. But again, I'm not going to pay for any. I'm going to play the game entirely without any, just like all the reviewers did. It's at an 86 on Metacritic right now, which is, it's a great score. They played the game without microtransactions and had a blast. I'm playing it without my microtransactions. I don't want to keep saying microtransactions. It's making my mouth hurt. And I'm having a blast. So it's not a huge thing. It's not going to break the game. It's not going to make me feel any less. It's going to make me feel one way about Capcom more than I feel about Dragons Dogma. But again, if this is how they've been doing it for every game, like whatever, it is what it is. I still think it's stupid that this is something that does exist in this world that, but as long as there's people paying for them, people that want to, like some of the things, fast travel, you could pay money to fast travel instead of finding the things that help you fast travel or going, you could pay $2 to change your appearance, which in game costs like 500 of this one currency, which is fairly easy to come by. And other little things, dollar here, dollar there, which in game gold it's not hard to come by. So there's going to be people that buy it. There's going to be people that spend $1 or whatever to make their game easier. And again, it's a tough argument. If you want to pay $1 to make your game a little bit easier, I don't know. Like, if I fault them, I don't know who's at fault here. It's a whole, like, we could have a whole show debating the inclusion of these microtransactions that don't shape the entirety of the game in any way. They may make it easier, but I don't know. It's weird.
Yeah, I mean, comparing against other practices, the way other people do it, you have to almost give a little praise that it's easily accessible in the game, and that's the only thing that's being sold here. But at the same time, if we're not comparing against the other companies doing shitty things, there's other games, other companies where they just implement an easy mode. You just go in, you click start, go to difficulty, and click easy, and you don't have to pay extra on your $70 game.
True.
So yeah, I'm leaning in the favor of, like, I don't really care that much if there's small microtransactions as long as it's accessible in the game. But then again, they don't need to do that. They could just make it a difficulty slider.
Right. And that's one thing too, where there's like, I mean, the difficulty on this, it's not that it's amped up. There are times where it gets a little harder, and you can only have Capcom. They've made it you have one save, and that's it. And you can't, so to stop like save scumming or whatever. But there's no option for new game. There's like, you have to go in and delete your old save files in order to, so it's like they do make it harder than it needs to be. So I don't know if they do that on purpose to push people towards the paying $1, $2 for that, like if that's the case, that's a little shitty, making it harder to then push people towards making it easier by paying with real money. But I haven't had that experience yet. So I think, again, I'm having a blast with it. I'm when So I don't know if you've been following the show, you know Dragons Dogma was the game I've been looking forward to for 6 months, and up at the release, I was reading the reviews, I was like, oh great, and then this stuff started coming out, the frame rate issues and this, and I was like, do I want to get it now? I'm glad that I bought it. Ultimately, I'm happy that I paid for it, and I'm having a blast being part of that story. So if you're on the fence, get it. It's a great game. Unless you're on PC, then maybe, wait a little bit until they figure that out. So, yeah, man, tons of game. Like, in addition to that, also MLB The Show came out this week. Final Fantasy 14 is on Xbox now. Horizon Forbidden West came out on PC. It was a huge week for games. So, I like these weeks. It's a lot of fun. Yeah, but that's it. Should we get into the bigger piece of the show, the news portion?
Yep.
Everybody loves the news. Everybody loves the news. I just came up with a new song for the intro. News of the week. All right, first up, let's kind of continue the new release type thing. Let's by talking about the latest Game Pass games coming to Xbox, and these include some of the newer games came out. Lightyear Frontier and MLB The Show 24, both on Game Pass when they came out last week. And then The Quarry came out March 20th. Evil West, Terra Invicta, Diablo 4 coming March 28th. Hot Wheels Unleashed 2, Turbocharged. This is the other game that's going to get you into Game Pass. That Hot Wheels game, baby. You can play Lightyear, Frontier, and Hot Wheels Unleashed 2. That comes out March 28th. And then Open Roads is a brand new game coming out day one on Game Pass, March 28th. And Ark Survival Ascended, April 1st. That's another one. That's another one that's going to get you. Look at all these games that are like right up your alley, dude. F123, another one for you. That comes out April 2nd. And then Super Hot. Mind Control Delete Super Hot, April 2nd. Big month, dude. Big month. Oh, Diablo 4 is huge, man. That's a huge game. You got 2 brand new games in Lightyear Frontier, MLB, and then another one that, what is it? Open Roads. It's like a story game. And then
personally, I can't wait to jump into F123.
Oh, boy. Don't even get us started on that one. But yeah, man. What a great... there's so many that I want to check out right away. Like, I still haven't played The Quarry, and that's been like very high. It's been on PlayStation Plus. It might even have been on here before, so I haven't gotten around to it. But yeah, Ark.
Yeah, I'd love to try out Diablo 4 because, like, I've not played Diablos 1 through 3. I played a little bit of that one that they had on mobile right before this came out. So for me, it's like a big hurdle to pay $60 or something and find out whether or not I like this style of game even. This is a great way to dip the toes in without really giving up much to do it.
Yeah, and I think like knowing how you like the formulaic games and stuff like that, I think you'd be into Diablo. It's basically just go and power up and just keep powering up. But yeah, it's I played a bunch of Diablo 4 and then I was super into it, and then something came out and I haven't gone back, but I got to get back to it. But yeah, then Ark Survival Ascended, like I've been you got Ark now in Unreal Engine 5. Like, what, I'm gonna go check out some sweet looking dinos in that. Like, it's gonna be great. And then Super Hot. If you never played Super Hot, it's a classic game. It's a classic game. Leaving March 31st, Hot Wheels Unleashed, the first one, Infinite Guitars, and MLB The Show 23. So you just got new ones taking its place.
Okay, now this Hot Wheels Unleashed 2 makes me feel like we've been doing this for a very long time, because I remember reporting on the first one before it even came out, covering its release, and here we are. I mean, it's not like a Call of Duty title where it's an every year thing. Yeah. We've just been at this for a little bit.
Yeah, dude. It's come and gone off Game Pass by now. This is how long it's been. So yeah, it's a good game. I haven't played the second one, but I'm sure it's more of the same. All right. talking about Unreal Engine, let's talk about the State of Unreal that just took place this past week. They had all the latest news and development stuff for the Unreal Engine 5, plus the Unreal Editor for Fortnite. The big thing, though, for me, I was very excited, very surprised to see a reveal trailer for Marvel 1943 Rise of Hydra. What'd you think of this trailer?
Looks interesting, but my only thought is, where's Wolverine?
That's a different game. He's coming soon. That's later. Yeah, I was excited. It looks so good, dude. I understand why they picked to show this at the Unreal showcase, because the way they show off the new metahuman animator thing with like the facial features and stuff, man, it's so good. The story looks really cool. Play as Captain America, Black Panther, some other people that who cares about. But yeah, I'm so excited to get in there and check out this game. It was it's like, you know, they've been talking about all these Amy Hennig projects for the longest time, and this being one of the ones coming from Skydance Media that I've just been like just waiting for more news from, and it's finally getting there. You know, we don't get released window or anything like that, but
right.
Yeah,
I really like. I'm into the thing. I mean, I'm a little bit of a history fan, World War II era especially. I learn more about it all the time, and this isn't exactly World War II, right? It's Hydra instead of the. I don't know if we're allowed to say it on YouTube or wherever this is going to go up, but without getting dinged. But
exactly,
yeah, the other bad guys. So I find it really interesting to put superheroes into this, and the reason I say Wolverine is because what little I've ever seen of like comic book stuff. I remember that X-Men series back in the day on the cartoon series, and seeing Captain America, Wolverine. This blew my mind that they were in the same place at the same time, and jumping out of a plane into World War II.
That's funny that you mentioned that. Like, so I've been watching that series. The reboot of that series just came out last week, and I've been watching that, and that's one of the episodes I just watched, the one with Captain America and Wolverine.
Nice.
So yeah, that's funny. I haven't watched the new series yet, but I'm excited too. But all this talk about superheroes, let's get into our top 5 for this week. Top 5. It's a top 5. Top 5. All right, this week we're talking about superheroes we feel should have their own video game, because now we got Captain America, Black Panther doing their thing here, and there's another Black Panther game supposed to come out, an Iron Man game supposed to come out. There's all these superheroes getting their own games, and what we normally do is we normally will each come up with a list of 10. This is a little peek behind the curtains here, and then we'll blind rank them and come up with our top 5 list together. But this week we're doing a little something different. Your top 5 list or top 10 list was so insane. I just want to look at the entirety of your list.
Well, here's the problem. Every superhero seems to have a game. If not now, they're back on the Super Nintendo or PlayStation 1.
They do. And I like that you really went outside the box here, because I was initially thinking, so for me, I was like, yeah, Doctor Strange, that would be a cool one. Or Teen Titans, I like that. Let's go. Let's talk about your list here. The top 10 superheroes that Full Clip thinks should have their own video games. Started with number 10, Beast. Great choice. X-Man. I don't know if he could do have his own thing all by himself, but he's, smart, agile. Let's make it happen. Number 9, Zero from Ghost Detective. No clue who that is. Listen, and okay,
it's like from the 1920s or something.
I'm like a big so you're not a huge like comic book superhero guy. I know that. I'm like super super deep into that. And then I was like, I have no clue who this is. So I was like in 1920s. So kind of in line with the video game that we saw. You would something like that maybe.
Yeah, like it's like a detective noir thing.
Oh, okay. I like that. I'm in. All right, number 8, Mermaid Man.
From SpongeBob. That's the one.
I had to Google that because I'm like,
but I want them. I want them in their prime. I want like the 1950s
Oh, okay.
Batman style of Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy, and I want it to
Sure.
be taken like seriously but satirical.
Okay. All right. I like that. All right. Number 7, Rocket Raccoon. Just him. Like maybe before he was even super powered. Just you're playing as just a raccoon. Maybe that. Number 6, Mystery Men. Now is this the Ben Stiller
Yes,
movie?
Ben Stiller, Kel Mitchell, everybody,
All right.
including Smash Mouth. That's got to be the soundtrack.
Of course it does. Yeah. R.I.P. Number 5. I had to Google this one. Beetleborgs. What's a
Big Bad
Beetleborg?
Beetleborgs. It's okay. It's Wish.com Power Rangers, more or less.
Okay. So what do you envision this game to look like?
Basically, give me Power Rangers, but Beetleborgs. I mean, they had their own thing going on, so it was kind of cool. And
Okay.
the bad guy looks like Jay Leno.
Oh, okay. I'm in now. That's all you had to say. Number 4, Catwoman. A Catwoman game would be pretty dope. Maybe if you're like
Right, stealth
robbing
based,
people,
probably.
stealth. Yeah, that would be fun. Number 3, number 5. That's tricky. We did a little weird thing. Number 3 is number 5 from Umbrella Academy. Now that's the guy who could like teleport or whatever, right?
Right, shifts through time.
Oh, through time. Yeah, I see a lot of time themes on yours. You really want to just go back in time to just a
I
simpler
think
era.
it's just a really it'd be an interesting one here because you could go through all those different areas expressed in a video game.
Yeah.
I think that would be really cool because you're building these different worlds all within the same game.
Could you change his costume so he didn't have to wear those little shorts all the time?
I hope so.
Okay, good. Number 2, Loki. Again, like you're going through time or whatever, portals
Right.
or
Different settings, different versions of them. I don't even know that much about Loki, but I know that he can be like an alligator in some cases.
Sure. Okay. And then number 1, which I love this idea. I think this is a great idea for a game, and it should come out soon. Peacemaker. Everyone, is big on the Peacemaker lately. From Suicide Squad and the TV show. John Cena, Peacemaker.
I've only seen the TV show, and I'm not entirely sure because he only has like the one big ass gun, like the big pistol. I don't know what else he would do in the video game, but
That's true.
that's all he really had in like that new Terminator or the new RoboCop game, and it was a success.
Yeah, guns. I mean, they've got us where we need to be before, so never, it's fine. All right, and that is our top 5 superheroes who should have their own video game. Great list, Full Clip. I really, I think you did a great job. All right, back to Unreal. We also got some updates on Fortnite and the Unreal Engine for Fortnite and things that they're going to be adding. So one of the things they talked about adding soon is a first-person mode. Everybody's been really wanting one of those. And then they did announce that going forward, not going forward, at some point, by the end of 2025, they said that Fortnite, a full season will be developed with the Unreal Engine maker inside of Fortnite, which is interesting. The whole like level editor thing. So they're really pushing that. On top of that, they're pushing people to make more like Lego games to play. There was a couple of them that came out not too long ago. Like there was like a Obby and then something else, and they got a bunch more coming out to the point where they're even, people can make these games that they're popular. They're going to pay big bucks. So, it's kind of becoming more of that Roblox type style of game over there at Fortnite. And then another interesting thing I thought, the Fall Guys assets are coming to the Unreal Engine Fortnite editor. So you can make your own Fall Guys levels right inside Fortnite. So that was very interesting, very surprising, because the Fall Guys game is still going strong from everything I've heard. In fact, the creators of that even followed up after this came out and said, we're still doing Fall Guys. The game is still coming out. It's still going. Don't worry about it. But I'm interested to see what people create as far as like Fall Guys level editor inside of Fortnite. It's gonna be interesting.
Yeah, weird one there. I guess the guy who's over the developments came out and said like, if we were to do it over, we would just create it in Fortnite from the beginning.
Yeah, Yeah, I mean, it would be so much easier. Everything's right there for you, and you're going to get a payment out of it. I don't know how much those guys ended up making. You would think a lot because their game was the biggest thing going for I don't know, 6 months at least.
Yeah.
So, yeah, very interesting. A lot of really cool stuff that came out of that Unreal event, and a lot of beautiful looking. Oh, Dune Awakening. They showed like a whole breakdown of that. That's going to be really cool. It looks gorgeous. So yeah, Unreal Engine 5 looks amazing. Everything's going great. They said Unreal Engine 6 ways away off, so don't count on that anytime soon. But yeah, I'm excited for what this means for games going forward. All right, next up, we got an update on the future of Larian Studios, the creators of Baldur's Gate 3. During GDC conference, the head of Larian, Sven Vinky, came out and he just said, "Is like they have no plans on doing any DLC or expansions going forward." He said, "You could see the team was doing it because everyone felt like we had to do it, but it wasn't really coming from the heart. We're very much a studio from the heart. It's what's gotten us into misery, and it's also been the reason for our success." Now, this was talking about they attempted Baldur's Gate 3 DLC at one point, and just said how it failed every time just because they didn't have the same feeling about it that they once did. They even said that they're not going to do Baldur's Gate 4, and they've told Wizards of the Coast, the people that that give them the Dungeons and Dragons license, that find someone else to make something because we're moving on. We're going to do something new, which was surprising, man. Baldur's Gate 3 was such a huge hit that I mean, I believe it. It took so much out of the team over at Larian. So much work went into that they're like, okay, we're done. We're gonna make something entirely brand new. What that is, we have no idea. But if I mean, I don't know. I don't know how what can you follow up Baldur's Gate 3 with?
Right. But if they put the time into it, they've got the team to do it. It should be something fantastic. And I mean, I feel if you're not putting your heart into the work on the back of something that was obviously like a labor of love that's so deep as Baldur's Gate 3, it's not going to feel right when the DLC comes out. People are just going to be disappointed.
Absolutely.
And there are probably going to be people disappointed right now. I don't know, though. If I were them, I'd maybe keep those options open for the future, because even if your heart's not in it at the moment, maybe you'll get some inspiration from the fan base of what they'd like to see, even if it's like new races or new I don't know what you call it, like a classes, like rather than a bard, something else.
Sure.
Some of those that can be added to the game. But then again, the modding scene is going to be really big on this game, so people are going to make that stuff themselves. So what's left for the developers to actually do as DLC?
Right. And even then, they're kind of hampered by what's available within the Dungeons and Dragons world. Now, granted, there's a ton of stuff that's constantly coming out new that they could absolutely incorporate in there, but it's not entirely up to them, I guess, which is what they could maybe do with, whatever their follow-up is, create something new, something original, and just roll with that. It's got to be another, like, CRPG, right? Like, it seems to be what they do best. Yeah. As far as like Divinity and this, like they're not just gonna make like a indie platformer. Would be surprising, but we'll see. And then last up, an Apex Legends tournament was recently shut down when hackers went in. It's the North American finals of the Apex Legend Global Series. But yeah, it was. Did you watch some of the clips of the people playing it? Like all of a sudden,
getting hacked live.
Yeah, they're in the finals and they're like, dude's like, I can see everybody. I'm getting hacked. Like, it's so weird that like all of a sudden, they're just getting in there, just getting hacked. The whole thing. A statement from the esports tournament said, due to the competitive integrity of this series being compromised, we've made a decision to postpone the North American finals at this time, and we will share more information soon. So, according to the anti-cheat police department, The hackers are abusing a remote code execution exploit to gain control over EA games protected by Easy Anti-Cheat. And they issued a tweet saying, I would advise against playing any games protected by EAC or any EA titles. But they said currently the RCE is being abused to inject cheats into streamers' machines, which means they have the capabilities to do whatever, like installing ransomware, software locking up your entire PC. So, yeah, crazy stuff. And then even the Easy Anti-Cheat people came out after that and put out a statement denying that the hack had anything to do with its tech. They said, we have investigated recent reports of a potential RCE issue within Easy Anti-Cheat. At this time, we are confident there is no RCE vulnerability within EAC being exploited. We will continue to work closely with our partners for any follow-up support needed. So, yeah, I don't know. A lot of blame getting tossed around. But, be cautious playing any games that does use the EAC. Always be cautious playing any EA games in general, those sons of bitches.
Yeah, in general. Avoid them.
Yeah.
But, yeah, there was an update from the hacker. Somebody did an interview with them, and the hacker says that they didn't actually touch anything outside of the game's process itself. So as far as locking up people's computers and stuff like that, take a grain of salt with who you trust when you hear that, because the guy who just hacked a tournament and shut it down may not be telling the truth, believe it or not. So, but they say that it's in the game itself. So I don't know what they did. Maybe turned on like some debug and developer tools and things like that are going to act like cheats, wall hacks, things like that. Had nothing to do with the server, they said. And they said that the two people who were targeted, it was because they were just nice guys, and that they thought they deserved some a little bit of recognition here through all this, even though they kind of put their careers on the line by messing with them in the middle of a tournament. But
might cost them a bunch of money too if they were to win the thing. So weird statement from the hacker. But at least we got some info. All right. On that note, I'm gonna go play some Apex Legends. And hopefully someone will hack me and I will win one. That's all I need.
You go.
I need some. Listen, hack my thing so I can see everybody out there, and maybe I'll finally win one of these things. You got anything else you want to talk about?
No, that's it.
All right, let's get out of here. Thank you so much for checking out this episode of Gaming News Weekly. Be sure to check us out on YouTube at Pop Culture Playgrounds, where you can find all of these episodes. You can watch all the our reactions, watch the trailers that we include. All the good stuff is on there. But if you just want to listen on your commute, whatever, podcasts, anywhere podcasts are found. It's a new thing. It's called podcasts. It's like a iPod cast that you wear on your arm or any broken bone. I could be wrong. I'm not entirely certain. But yeah, anywhere podcasts are found, you can find us there. And then there's also a website called Fruit Lab. We post all of our personal stuff there, like not our personal stuff, but like our personal gameplay content, as well as this video. And it's a cool website where you could earn a cryptocurrency just by watching clips and playing games and that sort of thing. What else? Oh, check us out on TikTok. We're over on TikTok posting all the best clips from this show every day. Go over there, and that's where all the conversations are happening. We're talking about games. We're talking about cheats. We're talking about cheating at games. It's just me talking about cheating at games over there. It's pretty much it. So go join the convo. And then I think that's everything. So I'm gonna go play some Dragons Dogma. You go play some Lightyear Frontier, and report back next week on an all new Gaming News Weekly.